How do you navigate people's temperaments?
To remain teachable for me has been great because it keeps you humble.
That is true. You guys do a whole lot of ministry, but you guys do a whole lot of partying.
Raquel, when we're dating, considered not marrying me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thrive, where I believe you were not created to survive, but to thrive. And if you change yourself, you can change your world. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm really excited because we have a special guest in the building. To many of us here in South Florida who are part of Calvary Church, we love him. He is no guest. This is family. But to everybody else, I'm excited to introduce to you one of the best of the best. We love him very much. He's a pastor on our team. Can we please welcome Pastor Vlad to the podcast? Come on, Pastor Vlad. How you doing?
Good. Pleasure
Good to
be here.
see you. It's glad. I'm happy to have you on Thrive finally. Come on, you
Thank
doing
you.
good?
It is an honor for me to be here.
How have you been? How's life going with 3 kids? And,
All good. Every day getting bigger.
Yeah.
More responsibilities.
Yeah.
But all good. God's grace.
Your kids are
good.
amazing. So for people that don't know, you and Raquel is your wife. How long have you guys been married?
20 years. Last
20
November.
years?
Last November, 20 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
That is amazing.
It's been an amazing ride.
You and Raquel are phenomenal, and everybody at church loves you guys and want people to know more about you today. But you guys have 3 kids, and their ages are?
17, 15, 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you guys have this full life. You have 3 kids.
Yes.
Your 3 kids, all of them play instruments. They all speak 10 languages. They're just absolutely brilliant. And I know you've been on Phil's podcast talking about parenting, which is amazing. And I think everybody should ask you guys a million questions on parenting. But you have a full life. You stay busy.
We do. It's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes we do find a Saturday to just stay home, do nothing, not even walk out the door.
That's like one
But
Saturday a year.
Like once every quarter.
Yeah. Because you guys are always, doing
For the most
something.
part. Yeah.
But
God gives us the opportunity. We call it that, a blessing of people opening up, wanting to talk to us, and we make our days available. You know, God has been so great with us. How can we not?
Yeah. I would say that is true. You guys do a whole lot of ministry, but you guys do a whole lot of partying.
That too. Well, with my wife, if you know my wife, she's the total opposite of me. Thank God for that. But she's.
But where do you guys get the energy?
I have to keep up with her. I'm like, if it was up to me, I would be in bed. But
so the other day, I think it was, a few weeks ago, you guys. So our services are 8:30, 10, 12, and 1:30.
Yes.
So we have 4 services on Sunday. Our first one is at 8:30. We are literally full steam ahead. By 6:30 in the morning, people are on our campus.
Yes.
Things getting ready. You guys are campus pastors. So for people that do not know, if they're watching and they don't know, Pastors Vlad and Raquel are campus pastors, and they're absolutely brilliant, and they are amazing. But we're there at 6:37. Everybody's running around getting ready for that first service. It's awesome, awesome atmosphere. There's team rally and production meeting and all that. But I found out later, a couple Sundays ago, you guys drove down from Orlando that morning. Yeah. You took off at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning?
we got up at 2 in the morning. Got the kids. Come on, let's go. And we left like around 3:30ish, 3:40.
Insane. So for those that don't know Vlad and Raquel, this is absolutely normal to them.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you guys will go to the parks, to Orlando, and you'll come back on a Saturday at like midnight.
At midnight, yeah.
But all to say, what I do admire, what I do love, is you guys give your kids an amazing normal life while you're also doing a ton of ministry. And so you guys are either always eating out with the kids, having some ice cream, or at the parks. And, we're all talking about Sunday on the chat. Like, we'll be there. Next thing I know, you guys are putting up pictures in Orlando. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's going to be another late night. They're going to come in Saturday night. Yeah. But you guys stay active. And I think that's a phenomenal job of parenting.
Well, we found out along the way, it wasn't planned, but we found out that because we do busy lives, because we do the ministry, those getaways with our children, it was just the 5 of us, no phones, no conversation with anybody else. And that became such a blessing to us, Raquel and I, as a couple, and then to the kids, because we will show them, hey, you're more important.
Yes.
We have jobs, we have ministry, but you guys are more important. Yeah. And I think it's important to communicate that to your children, or not communicate, show them.
Show that,
Show them, because we before we had kids with Raquel, we would always talk about, we don't want them hating God or hating the church because the church were their parents. Yeah. So we were always very conscious about doing stuff like that.
I think my parents did the same thing. I always say it all the time. I think my parents, to me, they're my heroes, basically near perfect. We did a whole lot of church. I mean, we grew up in church, and there was days and years where maybe I hated it. But they also were very fun. And I remember, going to Orlando, and they would say, oh, bring your friends. And in the van, it was like 6 of us, and they'll take us to Rock the Universe or whatever it was that was happening in Orlando, or we would go out to Naples or the West Coast. We were always doing stuff, and my parents were very active, very fun. And so they made, our childhood and our teenage years super fun, and always include people. And so it reminds me a lot of what I see you guys do with your kids. And we're trying to do that with Aria now. Yeah. Every once in a while, like now we are annual pass holders. And it's like, I never thought I would be an annual pass holder. Yeah. It's like never in the middle of the year. I was not that guy. Definitely not a fan of some of those. But it's like when you have kids,
it's
everything changes.
It's an easy getaway.
Absolutely.
You're 3 hours away.
Yeah, for us in Miami, we're blessed.
Even one night. You spend one night over there, you come back the following.
So now every few months, it's like, Aria, you want to go? And she's like, yes, please. She's telling us actually this week, she's like, I want to go. We'll figure it out. We got the annual passes, so we'll go up there. But now, I think we've already gone twice, but we're about to go again with Eden and with Carias. So it's little girls are all growing up together. It's like, all right, we'll meet them at the park. Let's all go. And she's loving it, and she sees church that way. Yeah. And so hopefully we do the same thing that you guys are doing, that my parents did.
Yeah, when they were smaller, we did 3 services in Calvary, and we would tell the kids, do you want to stay in the 2 and the 3rd? You have to go to one.
Yeah, just one is always mandatory, the other 2 optional.
And when they were smaller, thank God my sister goes to Calvary, so she would take the little ones back home. But they came to a point where they said, no, we want to stay. We want to serve. And then now, like, they're with us all day.
So this past Sunday, Diana got there early because now, I told her, hey, you don't have to be there the first service. By the time you wake up, our daughter, she already wakes up early every day. So maybe come to the second, and then obviously they're there all day. But this day, they came early, this past Sunday or 2 Sundays ago. So I think they got there like at 9 o'clock in the middle of the first service. And Eden was already there. That's like become Aria's, but her, Scarlett, all the little girls are hanging out together in our back offices and all that. And they started playing around from like 9:30 in the morning. All you hear is these girls running around. It's a party. You know how to. Yeah. Okay, so by the time our day was over, our last service is at 1:30. So we finished around 2:33. 3:30. By the time we go out to the front patio, we're talking to people, hanging out, and all of that. We go to the back room. It's probably now 4 p.m.
Yes.
Right? We have lunch. These girls are still running around. They're going crazy. Yeah. Aria doesn't want to leave. It was now maybe almost 5 p.m. And we're like, all right, Aria, say bye to your friends. We're going, it's like, I don't want to leave. But me and Nana were so happy that that's how they view church.
Yes.
It's like, it's a fun place. Yeah. It is a place where your friends are here. You're going to have awesome people. And so, all to say, I think you guys do a stellar job. You're teaching some of us, and we're trying to learn. We're trying to keep up with you guys. You guys have a whole lot of energy. There was one time, this is just telling stories today. There was another time, we had a meeting at your house.
Yeah.
Then the meeting went into, let's hang out and let's eat. I don't know if we ordered dinner or always at your house. Maybe Raquel's cooking something absolutely amazing. And we started eating. Then you guys are like, let's get in the pool. And we got in the pool like at midnight. And I remember when we finally got out, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But you guys just have this energy. You guys are, let's keep going. Why are you leaving now? It's 3:30. Let's go to the sunrise. But you guys are just such a healthy home, a healthy family. Loving in mind. And you guys don't pretend to be perfect. I know that.
I don't.
But you guys keep such, just this beautiful family front. You guys do ministry together. You guys are always involved in everything together. And I pray that always continues. You guys are an example to a whole lot of us. But it is awesome. We love you guys. I appreciate it very much. I want people to know, and I want to know a little bit about Vlad. I know you shared a little bit about your story with me. But people see you today. You're a campus pastor along with your wife, Raquel. You guys help us oversee a team of almost 800 people, 4 services, like we said on Sunday, a whole lot of overseers, coordinators, and you guys are always having meetings and dinners and all that. But before all that, let's go back. Who is Vlad? Vlad, country of origin. Did you always grow up in church? Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Born and raised in Honduras, Tegucigalpa, Honduras. I grew up in a home, my parents were Catholics. Okay. So I grew up in a Catholic home. I grew up with the knowledge of God. We go to Mass every single Sunday. By the way, I love going to Mass every single Sunday.
Like Diana grew up in Catholic church, mass every Sunday, and she says she actually used to look forward to it.
I grew up with we had a Bible. I remember we had a Bible at home on the top of TV, open to Psalm 91, but don't nobody dare touch that Bible. My mom would not allow it.
Every Hispanic home had an open Bible somewhere in the corner.
Yeah. So my knowledge of God was more of there's a God in heaven, but that He's watching for me to behave good. Always, like if I would trip, fall, scrape my knees, like, what did I do wrong, God?
Wow.
So I grew up with fearing God because He was
like an unhealthy
way. Like He was after me. Like, you better behave. If not, you're going to hell.
Wow.
So, that was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, that was our knowledge. Or maybe that's how our parents communicated faith to us.
Yeah.
But I did grow up with the knowledge of God. There was a 2-year period that my mom being my mom, she sent us to live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana with my aunt.
That's right. I forgot about your journey to Baton Rouge.
So when I was 9 and my older sister 10, my mom sent us to Baton Rouge for 2 years. Like, how on earth? But
wait, hold on. Okay, so you grew up in Honduras.
Yes.
Did you study English?
No.
So you came to the United States without knowing nothing.
And I remember coming to the U.S., Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and we drove Baton Rouge. And a week later, you're going to school. You're going to 4th grade.
Why did she send you guys? For an educational kind of
so
chance?
my aunt and my uncle Jose, he was studying at LSU.
Okay.
So we lived on
there.
campus. Yeah. So we lived on campus for those 2 years.
Oh my
And
God.
my mom, I saw the opportunity. You guys go over there, learn English, and come back. Okay, Mom. I have 3 kids right now. Yeah. I won't separate from them for a week.
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely.
For a week.
Me and Diana the other day, we're thinking about going on this trip for a conference we wanted to attend. And just leaving Ari for 2 days. We're like, no way I can imagine for how long? A year, 2 years?
2 years.
Wow.
2 years.
Wow. No, I would go crazy.
And, I remember going to school crying the first few days. I didn't understand a word because it's not like Miami that everybody speaks Spanish. Well, there's
this is Baton Rouge. This is the South of the South of the South. Wow. How was that experience?
It was at the beginning, it was terrifying.
Terrible. Yeah.
And then at the end, I found that there was 4 kids, Colombian, by the way. I don't know why. 2 Colombian girls, 2 Puerto Ricans, actually. In Baton Rouge. And they were my class, so they helped me out a lot. They helped me out at the beginning. I think by the end of the first year, my English kind of picked up and I would be able to defend myself. But it was frightening.
And after that, back to Honduras.
Did you,
while you were in Louisiana, I don't know, sorry to cut you off, were you 10 years old? I mean, pretty young, but did you have what's it called, the crock boil or?
Oh yeah, well,
what are they, gumbo?
We actually learned how to go crawfish fishing with my uncle.
Oh wow!
I never liked seafood that much, so I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah. But they loved it, and I
like
do
seafood. I just
fishing.
haven't gotten into crawfish. Yeah, I just stick with fish.
But yeah. So one thing that I remember back then, they would go to Baptist church. Or would go to the First Baptist Church. So I got introduced to grace, let's say, at that moment. But I'm 9 years old, 10 years old. I'm like, okay, cool. Sunday school. I love the stories. I love the Bible. I love learning stories about the Bible. But then I go back to Honduras, go back to Mass. I'm happy.
Yeah. So you go back to Honduras. By the way, shout out to Honduras. I gotta interject here, and I gotta say a story.
Yeah.
Okay. So shout out to Honduras. Costa Rica and Honduras are always competing in soccer.
Yeah.
And so we're always talking. But I want to share this story. Do you remember about 5 years ago, we went to Church of the Highlands to Grow Conference.
Oh. Yes, I know.
Pastor John Maxwell is teaching. And John Maxwell is absolutely amazing, a brilliant leader, phenomenal. And he's the best of the best of the best. Leadership. I mean, a ton of stuff that I share, I learned from him. So we're watching John Maxwell teach. It's an amazing night. He teaches incredible, beautiful. The Spirit of God moved. Then he gets off the platform and he's up there saying hi to people. We all said, let's go say hi to Pastor John Maxwell. He's a legend. And you remember, you're like, I read his books in Honduras. So we approach John Maxwell and you tell him, Pastor John, hi, in Honduras, I used to read your books. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he didn't understand too well. So he goes, oh, you guys are from Honduras. And you go, this is our pastor, Alex. And he goes, Alex, you pastor in Honduras. God bless you.
So this day he believes that.
And you know, it was one of those moments where I'm like, I'm not going to correct the legend. So I pastor in Honduras. My church is in Honduras, and this is our team.
We have Calvary Honduras.
That is one of the best. All of us were kind of looking at each other while we're saying how to, like, we wanted to die laughing, but amazing. Okay, so you go back to Honduras, and you grew up in Honduras till about what age?
So we're there till about 17. 17 is when I came back to the U.S.
Okay, yeah, so
living in Miami.
Teenage years in Honduras.
Yeah.
Was Vlad ever in trouble? You ever got in trouble? Were you? Because you, like all of us that know you, you seem like such a good, wholesome guy. We love you.
You know, I tell my parents, now that I have children, I don't recall ever being spanked by my parents. So I would tell them, I think you did that when I was little, the moment that I don't have memory of it, but you had to take my rebellion somewhat. You know, we all are born with, you know, rebellious and sin.
Well, that's like Dana. Dana says that she never got in trouble.
Yeah.
Dana says she never got
I mean,
whipped,
I did,
nothing.
but foolish things, you know.
Yeah.
Not any major
Dana's
stuff.
acting rebellious now. But, okay, so you were, never, the streets never called you.
No, I you know, we'll play soccer in front of my house and stuff like
but
that.
Never got in trouble in the streets.
My mom, if you would get to meet my mom would instill the fear of God in you in a way that you didn't want to.
Wow, you didn't even want to find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 17, you move here.
Yeah.
Again, growing up in Catholic church. So even at 16, 17.
So I met the Lord back in Honduras. So with my mom, so when I go back to Honduras with my sister, my mom is here in Miami working.
Okay.
And again, my mom's such a visionary where she applied for residency when she was here in the 80s, which is a lot easier than what it is now. And by 89, I think they tell her, you know, your papers are good. Go back to Honduras. We'll call you. The embassy tells us. So she goes back home in 89. I was like, 16, somewhere there. And one Sunday, she goes Saturday. Next Sunday, she goes, okay, we're going to church. And we're like, no, church mass is at night. And she said, no, we're going to another church, to a Baptist church. Somebody had invited her to a Baptist church. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And, you know, in Honduras, the addresses are not like 6565 Southwest 127th Avenue. Yeah. It's, you go here, the pink house, you turn right, the mango tree.
Yes, exactly. Same thing in Costa Rica, yeah.
Sure enough, we get lost. We end up in another church.
No way.
Instead of going to a Baptist church, we end up in a non-denominational, which is an excuse to say Pentecostal.
You end up in a full, basically, charismatic church.
So people jumping, dancing, clapping, and I'm
massive difference from mass.
Freaking out. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be here. But you know, the one thing I remember from that first day was the teaching. The fact that when the pastor goes up, opens the Bible, and someone gives me a Bible, and I can read what he's reading, that to me, like, I still remember 1 Samuel chapter 30. I still remember that preacher. I've heard probably thousands of preaching in my life, and I remember maybe 2 or 3.
Wow.
But that one, and I remember going home, like, that was cool.
Wow.
But then I go back home, and I'm thinking my dad will never go back to that church. I know my dad. To my surprise, next Sunday, my dad's all suited up and like, let's go to church.
Same church, the one with dancing and clapping and all that. Wow.
So we started going there, and you know, a few months down the road, I feel that tug in my heart. You know, there's a God in heaven who loves me. Does not really wanted me to go to hell, or actually save me from hell. And I remember one Sunday, I want to lift my hand. I want to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, but I'm freaking out. I never done this. And I didn't. You know,
you didn't raise your hand.
I'm one of those that had that struggle where I didn't. And I remember that week, I was just like, why didn't I do it? And I was just in this condemnation phase but I remember Thursday, Friday, I couldn't wait to go back to church. Wow. And I'm like, I'm going to do it this Sunday. And Sunday comes around. I can't remember what the teaching was. I don't think it was an evangelistic. I was just ready to go to the front.
Ready to be saved.
And sure enough, altar call comes. I struggled a little, but I raised my hand.
Wow. And
part of it was, what is my dad going to think? What is my mom going to think? Because of a Catholic background, you know, like I'm now going into this new faith. But no, my life was forever changed when I was 16. I tell people, you know, God didn't rescue me from drugs or alcohol or anything, but he spared me from it. Now that I look back, I like, man, at that age is when you're vulnerable.
Yes, absolutely.
And being already in the faith, that saved me from God knows what.
Absolutely. I say the same thing. I've never experienced a whole lot of what Miami needs to offer when it comes to, you know, temptation or sinful life or whatever. And it's not that we're better. It's that the Lord just maybe caught us early and didn't expect. Maybe if we would have gone down that road, we would have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than some of our friends.
I believe that,
you would have been a gang leader somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have been leading another gang, and we would have had street fights, me against you.
Yeah.
Who knows what we would have got into? I'll
Yeah.
never forget one time, and I think I've shared this before. Maybe I've shared it on the podcast. Me and my dad were playing racquetball one night. He's like, let's go to the park. I don't know. I maybe was 16, 17 years old. And I think it was me, my dad, and my brother. And we're there playing racquetball, and the ball goes somewhere far away, and we go to grab it, but it's on the other side of the fence. And it had gone under the fence. And this guy on the other side grabs it and gives it to us. And I'll never forget it. He was an older guy, a little bit of a bigger guy. And as he's giving us the ball, we're like, oh, thank you so much. He goes, you guys are Christians, right? And we say, yes. Like, super weird out of nowhere. We're like, yeah. And he goes, And he started almost like prophesying something to my dad. I forgot what he told him, but then he looks at me and he says, the Lord saved you. If he didn't save you, you were going to be in the streets and you were going to do this and drugs. And he started saying a bunch of stuff, but that's why he saved you. Yeah. He has a purpose and a plan for you. I'm like, wow. And so I don't know what could have happened, if God didn't snatch us early, like they say, but thank God he saved us early. And so,
Amen. Yes.
he did spare us. He spared us from ourselves. So at 16 years old, you have this beautiful encounter with God, and you give him your life. And since then, you've been serving him.
Ever since.
Wow. So you end up coming to the United States.
Yeah, a year later. Yeah.
Was that on your own? Why?
No. So a year later, that was my senior year in high school. I remember the embassy contacted my mom.
Oh, that's right, because your mom had filled out the
Your
paperwork.
papers are ready. You have 3 months to leave the country.
Wow.
And that was in January. So school started in February back in Honduras. So I remember not wanting to leave. I mean, I wanted my senior year. I wanted to stay with my friends, my buddies, my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
So it was
not
hard.
Raquel.
No. So it was hard. For me, it was really, really hard to come. But I want to say, for me, it was not an option to obey my parents. I grew up in a generation where you don't question, you don't advise your parents, or you don't make suggestions. You're like, okay,
whatever you say, absolutely.
Yeah. And looking back nowadays, like, Mom, thank you. Thank you.
The opportunity of a lifetime to come to this country, and on top of that, have your papers and do everything you can here.
And again, God's grace. We didn't struggle when it comes to immigration situation or anything like that. We came, already had papers, went to work.
Wow, it's an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So at 17, you come to Miami, and what do you start? Do you start studying? You start going to high school here? What do you do?
So I didn't want to go to high school because my parents took away my senior year. That's how I envisioned it. But I think that was the most rebellious I've ever done in my life.
I'm not going to school.
Yeah. So I learned that there was this thing called GED.
Okay. So you went for your GED.
I walked to there was a school on 7th Street, Hopkins. Okay. I walk in. It's 2 days. We'll come one day for 4 hours, the next day for 5 hours, do a test.
I get your GED.
I did it. I passed it.
Wow.
And I gave the GED to my mom. Here, you want a high school diploma? There you go. And then I started working. So I didn't go to college immediately.
Okay.
I had to work because my dad didn't know English, and he was an accountant. So finding a job without
your dad
the
was
language,
an accountant?
Yeah.
So is that that's where you get it from?
Eventually, that's why. All my life, my mom would say, "You're gonna be an engineer. You're gonna be a doctor." So she brainwashed me into that. But it turns out I became an accountant.
Wow. Okay, wait. So you get your GED. You start working because you have to help provide for the home. Did you end up then saying, "Well, I'm gonna go back to college"?
No. Like I remember when I did a technical school for 8 months where I learned computer accounting, which was great. I remember one of the teachers there, I thank God for his life. When I showed him my result on the GED, he told me, with this, you can go to Miami. He almost dragged me by the hand to take me to college because I told him, no, I need to work. And he's going, you're not going to waste your life. And I didn't listen to him, so I didn't go. I stayed work. My job, even at an early age, required traveling. So I started traveling to Colombia, as a matter of fact, since I was like 20, 21.
What is it that you were doing?
Sales.
Okay.
If you can picture me doing sales. So my early 20s was a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
So
that's why you told me that that's why you visited so many countries.
All countries in Latin America. Yeah. It was an amazing experience. Yeah. But no chance for studying. So I was making good money, more than any 20-year-old at my age was doing. So I didn't see the need. I didn't see the need until one day I get laid off because the department I worked for got shut down. Oh. So my boss and all of us So I found myself at 20 something saying, I don't have a job and I don't have a degree.
And now you don't have a degree, yeah.
I only have my GED.
Wow.
So for the first time ever, and around that time, God orchestrates everything. I meet Raquel. We start talking. Well, I had met her before, but she didn't pay attention to me for many years. And as we start talking, she had just got enrolled in Trinity International. She's doing her bachelor's. And in a very subtle way, she goes, and for lack of a better word, I'm not going to marry a bum with no degree. So I'm like, okay, that was
you better get your degree.
So that was my, okay, I'm
going to go to college.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did my 4 years of college in 2.
Wow.
That's how
Where'd you go?
really wanted. So I did Trinity.
Okay.
And as I did Trinity, I was also doing my electives in Miami-Dade.
Okay.
So it was a combination.
So you and
of
Raquel
both.
graduated Trinity?
Yeah, we're both.
Oh, so
from
did
Trinity
I. Wow, we're all TIU alumni.
Yeah, bachelor's in business.
Okay.
With a minor in Bible.
Wow.
Yeah,
very cool.
It was really cool.
So when did you get into accounting? It was during that whole season?
So when I did Trinity, most of my electives in Miami-Dade were accounting. There was a professor in Trinity, Joe King, I remember. He gave us accounting, but more than accounting, he was teaching us prophecy. It was awesome. But I kind of fell in love with accounting in his class, and I said, you know what, let me.
And you never thought about it growing up with your dad, who was an accountant. Never.
In Honduras, being an accountant isn't prestigious. It doesn't, it's like whatever job. You know. An engineer, an attorney, a doctor. Then that's
different.
Yeah. So
people don't know you are a brilliant accountant, and I absolutely am thankful for you. Not only do you help us when it comes to pastoring our church and leading teams that you and Raquel do so well, but you also have helped us out on the financial side and to make sure all of our finances are in order. And you have brought such an organization for the last few years, such an order, such a respect, and keeping things absolutely amazing and flawless. And so I want to thank you so much for your brilliant mind. But you are a genius. I mean, I just see you sometimes with papers as we're in meetings or whatever that you step in and you speak into. And I'm so thankful. Me and Dad have literally thanked God for your life. And this is where we often talk about in this podcast about teams, the importance of teams. Yeah. Everybody has their role to play in different gifts and different areas where that's not my strength, but that's your strength.
Right.
And having somebody like that we absolutely trust and love and adore, to have you there and say, wait, let's get this in this order. Let's fix this up. Let's go back. And I know you've helped out Collazo with that. And I know you've helped out our whole accounting team and our whole accounting team is absolutely amazing. But it's important to know, I think in any area that you are weak in, get some strength in. And that's always going to help you be better. It's like, okay, there's a lot of areas that I'm not good at. Maybe I'm good in one or two, but in these areas I can't. Let me bring in some people that can help me see what I don't see. And so you got into accounting, and then after that, you took off. That became your career.
Yeah.
How long did you did that for years?
So I did right out of college, 2005 was my first really accounting job here. I was a controller for a construction company, and I always had it. I'm going to do my master's, but we all get involved in many things. I ended up doing my master's 6 years later. And when I went to FIU to do my master's, they told me, that degree from Trinity in business administration is not going to cut it.
Really?
So I had to do 1 year to do an accounting degree with FIU.
Wow.
And then I did my master's, which, looking back, I needed it. It's FIU is really good when it comes to finance.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I continued for the next 12 years.
Wow.
In mainly accounting jobs.
This whole time you've been attending a Christian church.
Yes.
So when you got to Miami, you found a Christian church. Somebody invited you.
By the grace of God, we get here on a Saturday, and the home that we were staying, they had a connect group that night, and we're going to go to a connect group.
That same night you guys landed in Miami.
That same night that we come to Miami.
Wow.
That's how much God watched over us. Because that was a fear in all of our minds, what are we going to do in Miami? And we go to that kind of group. They introduced, there was 80% Honduran. Okay, these are my folks. And they invited us to church the next day, Sunday. And we stayed in that church for 20 plus. My parents still go to that church for 20 plus years.
Beautiful.
So we never had to church hop.
Yep. And look for a place. Where can we find a place that feels like home? Immediately.
Immediately.
And is that where you met Raquel?
Yes. Wow. Yes, that's where I met Raquel. Yeah.
Raquel, I think, grew up in church.
Raquel grew up she was 8 when she came to the Lord. Wow. She was even younger. And when she came to Miami, she would go to Catedral del Pueblo.
La Catedral del Pueblo, yes,
Yeah.
which we all know. If you are in Miami, been in Miami for more than 30 years, La Catedral del Pueblo, I guess in English it would be the People's Cathedral.
People's Cathedral, yeah.
Was one of the most prominent, known churches by El Pastor Adibeden, who passed away many, many years ago. Today, his wife still leads the church and preaches She is a legend. She's 81, I believe, and still preaching every Sunday.
Yeah.
One of their kids, the son, Adibeden Jr., is now part of our church and part of our board, and we love him dearly. But Raquel grew up there. That's right. She grew up in that church. Yeah. But by this point, she's at the church that you're going to.
So Raquel comes to church with her boyfriend at the time.
Oh, wow.
And, true story. The moment I saw her, I thought, this is it.
Wow.
And I had to wait.
We're going to have to figure out what to do with the boyfriend because that's my wife.
I had to wait like 4 or 5 years, but
He waited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vlad, so all these years, I mean, at 16, you have an encounter with the Lord. You really never really, I guess, rebelled or left the Lord or had anything. What's maintained your faith for all these years?
Definitely the grace of God, his constant reminders of who he is. There was a 2-year period there that I was like, okay. But, he pulled me back and, you're always rebellious. Not always, but I was. But I would say from an early point, you just fall in love with God. If you fall in love with God, not with the church, not with the pastor, you fall in love with God and the Word of God. And it will lead you. One of my favorite passages, thy word is a lamp unto your feet and a light unto my path. And you always go back to the word and it'll sustain you.
Yes.
I think that's what's kept me, my family strong and keep on in church and in our faith is that, the fact that we dive into the word daily. There's no ifs or buts, and
Yeah, we're talking about from the age of 16, then traveling to the States, then having, a steady job, then you get laid off, then going back to college. But this whole time, your relationship with God is there. You always keep God at the center. And even though you went through a 2-year period where maybe you were kind of like, maybe, I don't know, but you always kept going back. Like this was central in your life. And I think that there's something powerful about having your life anchored on the Word of God. And I think you're absolutely right. If you anchor your life on the Word of God, you can always go back to it. You can always count on it. My parents raised me the same way. It's like, I don't care what a pastor does. I don't care what a church does. We're going to keep our eyes on God. And if a church that we're attending goes sideways or starts going, the pastor goes sideways, they're preaching heresy, it don't matter. We're going to find another church. But we're going to follow God, follow His Word, and help serve Him. And so that was the mindset that we had. That anchor.
And I think I have to, as I'm thinking is serving, serving God. I think the community that is built around teams and just, if we can even comprehend, like give back a little bit of what He already done for us. That to me, if I look back on all the team that I've ever been a part of, all the, that has been central in my life. I could probably remember back in Honduras, my first ministry serving was kids ministry.
Wow.
I tell my kids, I was a Sunday school teacher, 5th graders. And I can't remember a period where I'm not serving.
Wow.
Maybe the first year that we came to Calvary, we were like, what are we doing here? But other than that, it's been a life of serving in whatever capacity, wherever's needed. We're just there. We're just there to serve.
I think the same in my life. As far back as I can remember, I've been involved in church and helped out. It was just a place that I loved. I was there with my friends and I wanted to help. I think I started serving at 13 in the sound or video. They would help me. And then the next place was kids ministry. And I think I remember being 16, 17, maybe younger. And me and a friend of mine, Berkey, I still remember to this day, they put us in charge of sports for kids. And so on Sundays, every once in a while, they were going to break and we'll go outside and we'll have like a little, softball field and that was, my parents were in service in this small little Spanish church. We would lead the sports. But it was always serving God. And then, you start serving in youth ministry and helping out there. And then you were part of the host team. Back then, we used to call them ushers. And then I did parking and all of that. But it was always something about it. I mean, there's now, here we are in the year 2026, there's statistics and there's studies that show that once you start serving, it does something in your life. It brings some kind of, it cements your decision to follow Jesus, and it makes it easier. And it makes, I mean, it's common sense now that, when you surround yourself with this community, with this family, in a team, you are going to remain stronger. You are going to remain more in your faith because you are building this community. You and Raquel do an incredible job of helping us, campus pastors now for the last maybe 4 years.
4 years.
Helping us out, and you pastor our team incredibly. What do you think is one of the biggest challenges of people following Jesus? In a city like ours, you and Raquel have a lot of conversations with people. You're always sitting down and either having dinner or breakfast. What would you say as campus pastor of Calvary Church? What are some of the biggest challenges people face?
I think obviously culture, our society, but the business that we live here, it's insane. And if you don't manage it well, then your priorities are going to be all over the place. You'll have no priorities.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we constantly hear from people is, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. And if God is not really the center of your life, where, Lord, I understand what you did for me on the cross, and if I could even repay you a 0.001% of what you did, it's me serving you, then I'll do it. But I think that's the main one, where people will join team because my buddy's there or they told me to, and I feel it, but do I really know what I'm doing? So one of the things that we tell leaders is, you gotta, like you tell us that, Pastor Adam explain the why, the why of the why you do. And if we get people to understand that, then, we'll have a lifetime of people serving the Lord. But I think because we're so busy, work, school, sometimes family, it's easy to, I'm not going to go because my parents are going to the beach, so I'm going to go with my parents. And I have to be with my parents, It's easy, and I get it. I'm not saying don't do it. I get it. But when you have that commitment with the Lord, it's like, okay, I'll go to the 8:30 a.m. and then I'll meet you at 11. There's always, if you want to, you can reorganize your schedule and I can do this, then I'll do that. Because that's, we did that. You're
doing that.
Know
well, what you're saying is so true. It reminds me of that saying, if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority, right? And I think you're right. In a city like ours, in a city like Miami, everything can seem like a priority. Work is a priority. Answering emails is a priority. Taking the daughter to ballet is a priority. Taking my son to go play baseball is a priority. And now everything becomes a priority. So church attendance, relationship with God is no longer a priority. It starts falling down. It is, but because it's competing with all these other things, it starts falling down. And as soon as you know it, you look and you're like, wait, it's been 3 weeks since I've gone to church. And although people say, well, I have my own relationship with God apart from church, I get that. But the reality is, for many of us, if we don't go to church, we're not reading our Bibles, we're not praying, we're not worshiping. He's really not front and center. I often tell those people, when was the last time we prayed? And it's like, well, that's right, we don't pray. Something happens when we center our lives, again, anchor our lives around the Word of God. But there is something about, saying, wait a minute, yes, we're going to go to this birthday party, but first we're going to church. We're going to go pray. We're going to go thank God for the past week that He gave us and start this week. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to go to this barbecue. We're going to do all that. But it's something about putting God first in your life. And Brian Houston, the legend, always says, if you put God first, you'll never come second, right? And so it's putting God first in everything that you do. I'm going to put God first in my life, in my finances, in my heart, my mind, my soul. God is going to be first. And I think you guys do an excellent job of that. I know my parents did a great job of that, where it's like, same like you guys. Saturday, we're going to go to the beach, or we're going to go to Orlando. We're going to go have fun. But we're going to be back in service on Sunday. And even if it's one service, and after that, then we're going to go and enjoy our day. We're going to go play baseball. We're going to go to the parks. I grew up in Hialeah. We're going to go to Amelia Earhart Park, after church on Sundays and have a blast. But church comes first. God comes first, and they instilled that. And so I think that is a big challenge, especially in a city like ours.
It is. And, and we've had those conversations with family, like, you guys are always there, But, at the end of the day, God is, the first thing in our lives. I could tell you numerous times where we're late to a birthday, we're late to this, we're late to that because we're a church. Okay, now we can go.
Yeah.
I mean, we're late no matter what because of my wife, but that's another conversation.
Shots fired. Raquel, we need her. We need her on the podcast to defend herself. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. But, they understand,
Yeah,
and there's many ways to work around. Like, I'll give you an example. For Christmas, we're meeting on my sisters. We're having Christmas Eve because we're Latinos, and we have on the 24th.
Yep.
We have service on the 24th. And we're supposed to bring dessert. I don't know what. We Instacarted. We'll get there on time.
Yeah.
We'll be there late, but the food's going to be there. So
that's very good.
Again, if God is your priority, you figure out ways to honor God first, and then the rest.
I think, some people, like I remember growing up with some friends in my neighborhood or whatever, or friends from school, and then as you grow up, other people that you meet across work, and people can have that thought like, you're always at church. You're always at church. You're always at church. I'm like, yeah, it's my place where I, number one, worship God and give him thanks for everything he's given me, life, and every single day. And it's our community of family. And it's where I believe we're going to help change this city and the world. But then years go by, and when they need help, when they are going through anything, they're like, wait, I know who to call. The people who are always in church, And so I think sometimes people don't get it, but then later on they're like, you know who I'm going to call? I'm going to call so-and-so.
Yeah.
Man, I think they can help me out in this situation. I need some prayer. I need some guidance. I'm going through this situation. Let me call this person. And so I think some people may not understand. And for a season, I've had people that may not understand. A couple years later, they're in church with us every day. And they're more than me, And it's like, everybody has a different relationship with God in different seasons, different timings.
Definitely different seasons because I see you and most of our pastors now with little kids. It's a different season.
It is.
I went through it. Yeah. I'm glad I went through it. Now I'm enjoying a different season where my kids don't want to miss youth. Yeah. My kids, like, we tell them we're going to Orlando on a Friday.
And they're like, no way, we're going to youth first. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Sunday, that crazy Sunday that we came from Rock the Universe, I told them, guys, you can stay with your mom, and I'll take the Bright Line. Yeah. On Saturday night, I'll come. It was Vision Sunday, so there's no way I'm not being there in Vision Sunday. And Lucas and Lauren said, no, we're going with you. If you're going train, we're going to go with you on the train.
Wow.
So I just praise God that they're amazing. At that moment in their lives where God's a priority.
Yes.
No better place to be.
That is absolutely incredible to hear. Yeah. And again, you guys have done a brilliant job in raising your kids. And now at their age, where they are now getting into the later years of their teens, that they love the Lord. And I think they've seen that example in you and Raquel. You guys have lived very normal lives. I think people think Christians are weird or whatever. We could be weird. I get it. But I think you guys live very normal lives. You're fun. You like to have fun. You're party people. But at the same time, you love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul. And you give them everything. And so I think your kids are growing up with such a beautiful balance, and now that's why they love the Lord, because you guys have done such an incredible job. I want to talk a little bit about leadership before we land this plane. You and Raquel help us see a team of over 800 people, basically. At this point, we're almost at 800 people on team that actually serve in a church of thousands, 800 people that say, I want to be part of this team. What are some good leadership skills that have helped you, not just being an accountant, but now being a pastor and overseeing teams? How do you navigate people's temperaments, people's attitudes? Because we're all different, Some day I may have a bad attitude. Yeah. Some days somebody on team may have a bad attitude, and there's differences. As a leader, what is maintained? Because I feel like you're always cool-headed. You're always calm. You're always relaxed, and you're overseeing a lot. You're a guy who's crunching numbers, yet you never seem stressed. What are some leadership principles that have helped you there?
Yeah,
obviously, other than John Maxwell books,
right? I think if it's a given. You love God with all your heart, and you love His people. I think one thing that we tell people, and I see it in my life, and I try to always remind myself of this, is remain coachable, remain teachable. I think there's beauty in what you tell us. There's always the next step. There's always, don't conform to where you're at. And I see people struggle with, I'm a leader and nobody tell me what to do because I know what I need, all the things that I knew. And it's like,
that exists in church?
Yeah. And, to remain teachable for me has been great because, it keeps you humble.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know it all. You're not the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know, no. So that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And we tell people, you know, always keep reading, always learn. You know, keep on learning. That's something you and Pastor Phil constantly keep on telling us. You know, and we just trickle down all the teaching from staff meetings
Phil's
and
reading
all that.
a book a week.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to get to that point.
Same,
you know? I struggle once a month. You know,
I love that mentality. I have a never arrived mentality, and that's what I try to do. That's why. Well, you know, we go to conferences and we learn from other people and trying to always learn. None of us are there, and hopefully, we have a lifelong journey of learning. How do you remain so cool? I think Diana told me one time, she goes, I think I've seen Pastor Vlad mad once, and nobody wants to see him mad. She's like, oh, when Pastor Vlad gets mad, he gets mad. But you always seem like you have just such a good attitude. Yeah. And in leadership, that is gold, because if you get frustrated quickly, if you get angry quickly, whether you're leading a church or whether you're leading a business, that's never going to be good. You know, I've known business leaders that lead from anger, or that lead from frustration, or that lead, you know, with no joy. And I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't think that's sustainable. It may look like it, but I don't think that's sustainable. Yeah. Nobody's going to want to do business with you. Nobody's going to hang with you. Yeah. And I would say the same thing in ministry. But I feel like you never get, it seems like, flustered.
I would say I try not to show it. Doesn't mean that I don't. Okay. Because I do.
Okay.
More often than maybe you know. But my job, I believe my job is not to bring headaches to the table, bring solutions. And that's what I do on a Sunday basis. But, you know, I thank God for my wife. My wife has put up with me for 20 years. I can get upset easily. You can ask my kids.
Wow, we're gonna have to have them on here as well, because I've never seen you get upset.
Yeah, but throughout the parenting helps you. You know, parenting, having 3 kids now, teenagers, helps you deal with your emotions. Yeah, Raquel will tell you the story, and you can ask her. Raquel, when we're dating, considered not marrying me because of my character, because of how I was. Yes. I was labeled back in our other church a perfectionist. Like if someone would be late to a meeting, I'll close the door. Nobody comes in.
Wow.
So I've come a long way.
Wow.
By the grace of God, I've come a long way. Wow. Again, be teachable. Somebody will pull you aside and, hey, you know, there's a better way to handle that, or you could have done this and that. Pay attention, you know. That's great. People will approach you because they love you, you know. It's not that they want to put you down.
That's so good. That's great. Can you say that one more time? People approach you
because they love you. Yeah. And I tell people now, you need to have tough conversations out of love. Very good. Because you love that person, you're going to tell her, hold the door this way.
Yes.
Greet this way. If you don't, what you're conveying is, I don't care about you.
Yes.
And it's not easy. It's not. I'm not a confrontational person by nature. But I've learned to, because I love you. And because I love you, I want you to get better. Because someone did that with me.
Yes.
And I see the results. And it's not easy, but yeah. And,
that's so you know, good.
On a Sunday, you just try to keep your emotions in. Yeah. Raquel, obviously, she knows me, and she'll go and pat me on the head. Like,
she already knows that Vlad is getting upset. Wow. But you know what? I think there's a way of, and I think you guys do it in a beautiful way, of wanting excellence, of saying,
absolutely, we'll never change that. No,
yes, but still being loving, kind, and dealing with all kind of, whether it's staff or whether it's dream team. You guys are just, you guys go over and above in caring for people and loving people and sitting down with people. You guys are absolutely the best of the best in doing all of that. But at the same time, yes, you want things done organized and excellence and in a timely manner. And I think just because you're a church, it doesn't mean it has to be no order, a mess, no times. It's like, no, wait, we want to be a church with excellence. What about team building? You guys, I think, have been excellent in dealing with leaders. So not only are you a leader, you are a leader of leaders because you deal with a bunch of leaders around you that lead many other teams. So in a team of almost 800 people, we easily have, 30-something leaders
Yeah.
from different ministries to different teams. But what I love, every once in a while, you guys will put up some pictures on social media, or you guys will send us some pictures. I think this past week, you sent us one on Monday. You had a dinner at your house on Monday with some of the leadership team. You guys are really good at team building. You guys are really good at getting just team around you. And so there's people listening right now, more than church. Again, I'm trying to think, we both come from a business world as well. What are some great keys at just building teams, building leadership, believing in people? What are some of the things that you guys implement?
I think, throughout the years, one thing that we've learned is care more about the people for who they are than for what they do.
So good. That's great.
If you're able to show them, not convince them, but to show them that you really care for them and for who they are, you will see a change. You'll see what we love to call breakthrough. There's a breakthrough with this person. Again, parenting helps. I have 3 kids. We have 3 kids. And I speak to each one differently. They were born and raised in the same house, same love, but they're so different. Yeah. And you'll experience that now that you're going into that.
I'm going on number 2.
Yeah. And
2 out of 6.
There you go. And then the same thing with leaders, you know. I speak in one way to this person, and then I have to speak in another way to this other person.
Good. That's great.
How do you do that? By knowing them, by spending time with them on a Sunday. Go, put your arm around their shoulder. How you doing? Go eat. Jesus did that all the time.
And you guys are really good at that. You guys, you see all throughout the Bible breaking bread. Yeah, and that's when you get incredible conversation.
I believe 100% in that. Like I told Raquel, look, I have to have lunch every day. Might as well bring somebody with you. Yeah,
absolutely.
And we do that. I do it with some other guys. We go have lunch once a month, and dinner with couples and all that. So I believe in spending time with people. Yeah. Before I can even tell them, you need to fix this in your team. Like if I haven't had that one-on-one with you, I won't do it.
So good.
I won't do it.
You are giving key gold leadership principles here.
Yeah. Like if I know that person might have a better relationship with Raquel, or maybe with Pastor Adam, I would go with them and can you talk with them because I can't. I don't have
that relational capital.
I can't do that. So we do that also. We'll talk to Pastor John or can you talk to this person?
Yes.
And then we build that relationship with them. But I will not correct someone who I've never spent 2 minutes with.
Very good.
I can't do that.
I agree. I think that's key in leadership. I know we're going over time, but thank you so much. I want to just 2 things that you said that I want to talk about really quick, just a little bit more in detail, because I think they are gold. They are gold. You just shared leadership gold. One of those I learned late, and I know it didn't help me out at the beginning, but it was dealing with different people differently. Yeah. I learned that late. I'm reading books of that, 4 or 5 years ago, like, oh, wait, that's right. Somebody understands differently than this person. And so you got to talk different, lead different, show them different, because we all have different ways of learning.
Exactly.
And so today, if there's anybody listening that maybe, I don't know, you're the boss of a barber shop or a tire shop or of a graphic design company, of a logistics company, and you have employees under you, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or whether you have 25, everybody's different.
Yes.
And we can't talk to everybody the same. We can't expect everybody to receive the information the same way. One person heard something like you said, the other person heard something different. But I think that was absolute gold, what you said. And it's learning people, learning their characters, learning what they like, what they don't like, learning how they learn, how they don't learn. So I think that was gold. And then I want to go back really quick to the first thing you said, showing people how much you care. And you can't fake that.
No.
You cannot fake that. And I say that because I've had people, fake that with me, and you can sense that. If you have an inch of discernment, you're like, no, wait a minute. You really don't care. If you care more about what people do than who they are, they will not ride for you. They will not be your friend, because that's not being a friend. Being a friend is, I love you in spite of what you do.
Absolutely.
I care about you more than what you do.
Yeah.
And I think that is leadership gold. If you want people to help you with the vision that God has given you, with the plan that God has given you, with the ideas that you have, more than anything they can bring to the table, do you care for them? Yeah. Do you love them? And I really, I think everybody in our team does an incredible job. We have the best of the best people. But, people often will say something about Calvary, and I'll say, no, it's the people that make it absolutely amazing. Our pastoral team, our staff team, our dream team. I think we are at a place right now, by the grace of God, that everybody truly cares for one another. Like, I look at our team, just our pastoral. I was talking to this friend of ours the other day. Me and Dana were at a dinner, and they were sharing some stuff about our church, and we said, yeah, like, it's a genuine love. It's a genuine love. Like, you look at our pastoral team, and we all go out to eat, or we're hanging at your house, or whatever, and there's a genuine love there.
Yes.
There is no this competition, or I don't like this person. It's a general caring for one another, and that goes, you'll do anything for somebody that really cares about you or cares about your kids.
Absolutely.
And are there for you. And the same thing with Dream Team. When it's like, listen, I don't even care if you can move a chair or not. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you okay? And I think you and Raquel do that in such an excellent way. And I think if you are a business leader, whatever you're leading today, if you have that type of mentality, you're going to get some people that will ride for you and will help you
100%.
Because you care for them.
Yeah, I think you maybe back in 90s or something, we probably were taught that you have that same level of voice with everybody. You can't do that. We've learned through the years you can't do that. You got to. One of my favorite characters in the Bible, Old Testament, is King David. I love King David. His story, his struggles, because I struggle the same. He's so vulnerable.
Yeah.
But when you read towards the end of his life, the 30 courageous guys that were with him, there's a story where David says, "Oh, if I could have a drink of water of the well of," and the 3 guys heard him. Yeah. And they go risk their life, go through the Philistine army, get him water. Yeah. And I would never teach on this for me, but that's the kind of leaders that we should build. Yeah. People that will go. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but when you first called us to be campus pastors, which I think you were crazy when you did that. We were, full-time corporate jobs and like, how on earth? But remember one day, like within that week, you asked me like what I envision for our leaders. And I said, I want our leaders to run through a brick wall for the Lord. Not for church, not for me, not for you, but for the Lord. Amen. If we can get to that, we'll be good. Yes. We'll be good.
Yes.
So I always love that passage, and I want us to be there. You know, I want us where you tell us we want an auditorium of 10,000 people.
And we're going to do
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love what you said, for the Lord.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I love that, because I think here we are now, right? 4 years into being campus pastors, and you guys have done that. You guys have made people generally fall in love with God. More than a pastor, more than for pastors or a church or whatever. I think our team generally loves God. Yeah. Generally, we're striving for people to have their own personal relationship with God. And because of that, they will do whatever for God. And having people there who care for them and love them. And you guys are absolutely brilliant at that. You spend incredible time. And so I think you've given some leadership gold. And so I want to just say thank you.
No,
thank you for all that you do. Thank you for how you lead, how you love. Thank you for the life. I know for a lot of us who are just starting out, being dads and husbands, we look to people like you and other people on our team. I can think of Ulysses and Louis and all. And you guys show us an example. I know I may be, the pastor of Calvary, but you're an example to me, a hero to me. And we love you and Raquel. And we look up to all of you guys, the way you guys have led your families, the way you guys pastor. We have some incredible pastors that we look up to and admire. And so thank you. Here we are now, 20 years into marriage, and you guys keep partying. Yes. You guys keep serving the Lord. You guys keep worshiping. And hopefully all of us can learn from you guys. Yeah. This is just a little bit of conversation. I can't believe we went an hour already. And I think we missed a lot of details we're going to get into. Maybe the next one we'll bring Diana and Raquel.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a 2-on-2 there. Yeah. And it's not going to be you guys versus us. It's going to be them versus us. But we love you guys and appreciate you. And thank you for always opening up the doors of your house. And there's always a party going on at their house. That's some brilliant leadership principles from Pastor Vlad. He helps us, him and his wife, Raquel, campus pastors at Calvary Church. And if you're ever in South Florida, come visit us. Come get to know them. They are the best of the best. But we love you. Thank you. Thank you one more time for your time. We love you. And always remember, if you can change yourself, you can change your world.